Just imagine you got a blank screen, there's a deadline looming. You need to write this proposal for the client. Maybe you need to just respond back to them in email. You want it to be professional, relatable. You want to make sure that you're communicating to them and their personality. You think, man, if only I could write a little bit better, right? I'm just a remodeler. I'm supposed to be out in the field building stuff. Well, here's where power can kick in. A few weeks ago, I was helping another contractor. Listen, he had just completed this incredible kitchen project. Man, they took a dated, chopped up layout and they turned it into a modern, like a spa, like cooking space. Amazing. Man, it was a beautiful space. Now, when it came for this guy to then show that to the rest of the world so that his other future and potential clients could see what he did, man, he didn't have a story. He didn't have good photos. He didn't have a good way of presenting it. Nothing, right? No writing degree, no camera skills. And what's he supposed to do, right? How is he going to get this business and out there so that people can see the amazing work he did? That's when we sat down and I showed him how to use
Hello, this is the HackHour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Minges.
Hey there, you future remodel rebels. Welcome back to the HackHour Podcast. Today we are on episode 66. I'm your host, longtime remodeler, and founder of the Remodeling Academy, Mike Minges. Today I'm bringing you something that has the power to transform your business from day one that you start implementing. Look, it's no secret, right? AI is moving and transforming. So let's go back to our guy we started the story off, right? Here he is. You're a good remodeler. You get projects done. They're beautiful. However, if your clients can't see that, if you can't express it, talk about it, share it in a positive way and be able to communicate effectively, it is just going to make that business that much harder. You don't need to work that hard anymore, right? This day and age. So the beauty of AI is couplefold. On one hand, remodelers aren't going to be replaced by AI 100%, not anytime soon. Yes, I know there's robots out there. Some of them are already building houses, right? They're 3D printing them. And yes, there's some remodeling. There's robots that can come and replace roof sections. But remodeling gets a little more complicated. And they don't have it yet. They will possibly in the future, but they don't have it yet. So you are safe for a few more years. What you need to start doing is capitalizing on the AI brain power so that you become a more well-versed and smarter remodeler, a better version of yourself, right? No longer are you going to have to waste years in college or at all these other schools. You can just get started, get into the business, and get down to it. If you're willing to put in the time to learn how to communicate, you're going to be that much more effective. So here's some great news. What we've launched and have already started. So if you are seeing this podcast now or reading it on the blog, get on over to our YouTube channel so that you can get in for what's the remainder of our 30-day AI prompt challenge designed specifically for remodelers. Look, I want you there. You know you want to be there. Your future clients and customers want you to be there because you're going to be that much better of a communicator and you will land more projects. So here's what's happening. Every day I'm going live and have been for the last several days on YouTube, right? And I'm giving you a prompt that is specific to the remodeling industry. Mainly, I'm walking you through a successful sales process that I developed years ago through trial and error, and it is what really transformed our remodeling business. It's how we were able to move past a lot of the struggles, and I've watched successful companies in my area, ones that I emulated in the beginning and wanted to be like. I watched them go out of business, and then I was able to be in a position I never expected that quickly, where I could start hiring their employees over to my company, and I could start having their clients because they weren't there to serve them anymore. Think about that. This is what can happen when you build the proper foundation. So what are the things that we're covering, will be covering, have covered? Look, at the end of the day, I'm giving you prompts, the specific language that you're going to be putting into your AI tool of choice. Maybe it's ChatGPT, maybe it's Bard, Jasper, Grok, DeepSeek. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. I'm going to give you the prompt so that you can get good information out. Because as you already know or are going to learn quickly, a AI tool at the moment is only as effective as you're able to communicate with it, i.e., the better the information that you put into it, the better the information that's going to come out of it. All right. So what are the things we're going to do? Like, we're going to help you develop your own proven sales process and script, how you weed out the client leads, right? How you weed the lead so that you can find out who are the prospects that are most likely to work with you and to be success for you and your business. We help you figure out how to negotiate and maneuver through the process so that you're getting paid for your estimating time, right? We don't call it that. You come up with your own term, and we have a prompt that helps you walk through all that and also helps you position it to the client. You're going to learn how to do things with your marketing, right? How to write good emails, how to get good headlines, how to work with employees, right? Overcome objections. Man, if it has to do with remodeling and it's a struggle, there's going to be a prompt and a solution. We're going to have over 30 of them by the time that we are done. So get on over there and start joining. All right, let's talk about some real world cases, because this is where people say where the rubber meets the road. Look, we have had already a remodeler take their normal process, run it through an AI prompt, and come back to them with a better worded and more clear process for the prospect that helps them then land, in this case, a $75,000 kitchen proposal in less than an hour. Okay? Like, very quickly work through. They got the prompt, they got the script, they practiced it a couple times, then they went, had the appointment with the client, signed the deal. All right. So think about that. Your clients are going to be, this client was super impressed because they're like, man, you made this so easy and simple and less complicated than the other companies that we were talking to. And we appreciate that. And you completely understand what we're trying to accomplish here, our goals, right? That is the power of being connected and learning how to more effectively communicate. Also, man, what about those of you that have put out some proposals and bids before you had all the AI prompts, so you didn't land some of those jobs? Well, we're going to help you come up with some good scripts so now you can get back in touch, reach out to the cold leads that might be dead, might not be. And with this new prompt, you put in place a good system so that you know what to say, and you get a series of emails that you can win back some of those leads that have gone through the wayside. Now, what about your team? Your employees, your subcontractors? Well, learning how to better communicate with them, setting proper expectations is only going to lead to better results. Most remodelers, and myself included when I first got started, man, I just assumed that other people knew what to do. They should already know how to do it. They're a professional, right? I assumed that they were going to do it the way that I'm thinking they should do it, and this because they're working for me now. No, if I don't expressly say it, put it in writing, how in the world are they expected to know it and do it? And if you're having problems with employees or subs, then you're the one to blame. It's not their fault because they're doing what they think's best. You have not fully communicated. Now, let's say that you do fully communicate and then you have a problem. Well, now you know definitively, you move on. But here's what's interesting. When you completely communicate and put things in writing and have them sign it, the problems start disappearing. It's amazing. So all of this can be your future. You can increase profit, sell more jobs, have more people working for you, and believe it or not, have less problems. All right. It is possible. Successful people are doing this. Now, some of you might be saying, but Mike, like, I'm not a tech guy. This is all BS. I don't want to use it. Well, I feel for you because it's going to run you over. All right. You need to get past any fear that you have about using the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to be taking over everything, right? AI in general is just going to be the way it goes. So the sooner you start getting it used to being something that you deploy daily, the better you're going to be. All right. And understand that you're working on building your business's reputation every day. So the better that you can communicate with everyone in the world, the higher level of success you'll have that quickly. So let's think about some common things that we need done. Some guys in the industry are struggling to get good Google reviews. And it's not because you're not doing good work. You do great work. It's because you don't have an effective process for how to motivate the client to go ahead and give the review. Well, you could come up with a prompt, run it through ChatGPT or any other AI tool, and come back with a script and a process that you now follow. And what I'm saying is, imagine if when you're initially meeting with clients, you're already talking about the Google review at the end of the job and how most of your clients do it this way, and this is what's great, and we'll have a little celebration for you, and then you can write the review, and then you could save this or get that, and this is going to be awesome, and we're so excited when our process is done so that you can be excited and you'll rave about how awesome we are. You pre-frame, right? And then throughout the process, you're following up, staying with the customer and say, man, this is awesome. That would be something really good that you could possibly put into our review when you say all the great things about us. And you're joking with them, right? But you're prepping them, getting them ready. And then what if at the very end of the job, you potentially presented them with some sort of a template? Say, look, this is some things that I noticed you had said to me throughout the process, throughout the time we spent here remodeling for you. You made mention of this, you made mention of that. Would you mind sharing those things in the review? Boom. Now you're going to get a well-written and very positive review that is honest because it's exactly what they've said. You just kept track of it throughout the process and presented it back to them. Man, it gets easy when you understand how to make it work. What about maybe writing some emails to your clients every now and then, looking for work, helping, saying, hey, we're there. Is there any problem that you're experiencing at the home? What if you had it nicely crafted, right? A good draft, and you were able to submit that. Maybe you do it once a month just to stay in touch. As your database grows, you never know who the client knows, what service they might require. How about writing nice thank yous? Yeah, you could use a prompt for that as well. Coming up with job descriptions for these employees that you're hiring because the business has been growing. Yes, you can come up with a prompt for that. What about having that checklist, right? We've already developed them. Maybe you want to alter a couple. Well, you could take our checklist for the subcontractor or for the employee. You can load it into one of the AI machines, and then you can make a couple of the tweaks. Say, hey, I'd rather it say this. I want to have that. How can we properly get across this message? And then boom, you can get back your own version of the checklist or the daily requirements or the expectations for your employees, your subcontractors, and what have you. So at the end of the day, all of these little things start adding up because you are building a business, right? You're building a process. You're going to have agreements. You're going to have applications, right? You're going to have your own guides. This is how you get through growing a team because you can't be everywhere. And if you're growing a big remodeling business, you don't want to be everywhere, nor should you have to be everywhere. But your frameworks, your methods, your foundation, the way that people should be doing the business because they're working with you, for you now, that's everywhere. All right. So let's look at this. Man, look, there are remodelers out there that are so busy right now that they are forgetting to follow up with clients, right? And you might have it in your business where imagine you have a $65,000 project that might slip through the cracks because you don't have a process in place to where you draft the email, the follow-up, whatever you need to do, and you just get it done because you're so busy running around from site to site because you're disorganized. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. You can be organized and you can be prioritized on generating business for your business. All right. So at the end of the day, here's how this challenge is working. All you got to do is show up every day. I go live. You take the prompt, you listen to the video, boom, you're good to go. Also, you want to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notified when we are going live every day. All right, second step, join the Remodelers Helping Remodelers Facebook group. That's our group, specific, and this is where we drop a lot of the extra details, right? We're going to actually be putting in some of the actual prompts. It's already there. So in case you didn't have time to write it down while you're listening to the video, no worries. You can get it word for word already there in print in the Remodelers Helping Remodelers Facebook group. Man, it's that easy. Why reinvent the wheel? Look, if you are a remodeling contractor and you are struggling and it's 2025, the only person that you have to blame is yourself. There are hundreds of resources out there that would help you get to a place where your business is fun and profitable. And the only reason you're not there is because you're choosing not to do it for some reason. Don't let that be the case anymore, all right? I'm just one person that's doing one type of a solution for remodelers. I'm not the only one in the industry that does it. Find someone that you like, get plugged in, and start getting a successful remodeling business. Stop struggling. You have no excuse anymore. Yeah, 30 years ago, a lot of this secret information was held tight, all right? But if you come into our community, it's not. I put it out there for you. I'm trying to raise the bar across the remodeling industry as a whole, right? Guys, you don't have to be afraid of your competition knowing the good stuff. What you have to be afraid of is you not taking time to learn the good stuff, okay? So here's the thing. We all can know it, but if we don't put it into practice and discipline, it's not going to matter. And that's the reality. Most people are lazy. So again, if you have the desire and the drive, then you just need the information and you start applying it. And the resources are there. So get yourself out there and start being successful. All right. So again, some of you guys have to understand, I get it. You know how to swing a hammer all day long. But you have to recognize that, yes, you don't know how to swing a business. And I remember what that was like for me and how I started taking proactive action one step at a time to figuring out how to run and scale a business. I was tired of being self-employed and I wanted to have a business. All right, so here we go. If you haven't already, you should look into joining our Remodel Rebels program. It is open for new members right now, right? This is your chance to get in. You can get around a group of other people, all right? So it's not just one guru or one person. No, you're surrounded by a group. We put good information in there. Every month, you're learning a little bit more, putting it into practice, going out, seeing what you struggle with. Come back, regroup. Hey, I tried this didn't work. Hey, I tried that was successful. What's next, right? And you just move and grow. And there's people of all different levels so that you can learn from everyone else. And it's amazing what happens when you do that. Stop isolating yourself. Get involved in a group, right? Put the money in and get the results out. I guarantee you, anything you would put into any of our programs will come back to you well over and above what it initially cost you, as long as you're willing to put the time in. Make sure you sign up for the Remodeling Academy, and if you haven't already, you got to get our book, all right? Remodelers, How to Get Paid to Estimate, Learn the Spark Method. Man, it's out there, right? We share all the secrets. You just got to take the time to get it. All right, guys. So do me a favor. If you've enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, like it, write a comment, give us a Google review. Do something proactive. Think about this. If you want people to like your business and give you good reviews, are you putting that same energy and effort out into the world for other people? If you're not, you might be wondering why it's so hard to get reviews for you. Whenever I come across something that is beneficial, a business that does a great job, right, I will say, you know what? I can take a minute out of my day and say thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, this person, so-and-so at the company did an amazing job today. Our waitress or waiter, the bartender, whoever it was, they were amazing. The person that we had to help us get the product, the checkout person, the sales rep, the manager, right? It goes a long way these days. And if you understand how valuable it is to you, then you obviously can appreciate how valuable it is to others. and share. Give out and you'll get back. It's amazing. It works. We wish you the best. Remember, guys, look, your success is out there and it's waiting for you, right? The question is, are you going to be ready to come get it, take it, and make it happen and let it be the reality for you? All right, take care. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the HackHour podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.